All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the WandaVision post show where we discuss all the things we got wrong, all the things that happen, and some of the plot holes that are still in this show, this great show, because it's still a really good show. But let's discuss, since everybody's basically processed the episode now. Because I know, Chris, you were completely like,
I just wanted to go to sleep.
I know.
It wasn't a bad episode, it didn't bore me.
No, but you were on the road already before that, so yeah. I get it.
I was ready.
Yeah, you were ready.
As soon as I hit send on the WeTransfer, dog, I was out.
Yeah, you were done. So I'm gonna start with how did you guys feel about the episode as a whole? Did it satisfy you in a way by any chance? And also, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys weren't in the last episode, we do have my best friend Chad, aka the Political Shield, who's going to be the Stars and Stripes in our next venture, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, as our military advisor. But let's start with you. How did you feel about the episode of the last episode of WandaVision and pretty much the whole series thus far?
I mean, I thought that it ended pretty nicely. It wrapped up a lot. It didn't wrap up all, but it wrapped up a lot of the storylines and plot holes. And it wasn't a typical ending where everything was all happy and everything like that. But it wasn't a tragedy, like a Shakespearean tragedy either. It ended much lighter than I thought it was, but it also didn't have a happy ending. The series overall, I've noticed that the episodes got better as the series went on. I think the only episode out of all of them I thought dropped off was just so happened to be the last one. If you looked at it collectively, because every one of them was building up to something. And then the last one was a culmination of everything. So you were expecting something huge. And I didn't really get that really big, huge feeling.
Okay. So, other than like basically her transformation, that's about it.
And that's about it. But
no Mephisto, no, like, oh, what's up? Well, I'll talk about that in a second with the whole Evan Peters thing.
Right. So there were things, that was a letdown, but I also recognized that was my own expectations. And I had to leave my own expectations out of it and my own thoughts and my own fandom out of it, and just kind of leave the story as is. And if I were to leave the story as is, like I said, I was pretty satisfied overall.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. Man, no nickname. Chris, what did you feel about the episode and the series as a whole?
It was great. And I hear so many people talk so much shit about the first 3 episodes, but it made no sense for that comment. And then 2, like literally even if you get into the further episodes, it pieces it all together.
Exactly.
I'm saying, especially the fact that they showed the fact that she, admired, those sitcoms back when she was a kid, I'm saying, that she lost her parents and all that shit.
Right.
So like, it's a given that she would have did something like that. And I just loved how they played everything together. Like everything, I agree with you when you said that like everything was just a buildup, but I feel like Marvel always does that anyway. Like they always have like these amazing movies, and then towards the end it just kind of like dips a little bit because it's just, okay, now we did all this, we're just gonna lead you into the next one.
That's kind of like what Endgame did in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we'll get to you in a sec. Go ahead, Chris.
But other than that, I mean, I loved it. The last episode was awesome. They left so many plot holes open.
Yeah.
So I can't wait to see what happens now. That's it.
And that's another thing. Like everybody was talking about, oh, there's so many plot holes, blah blah blah. I was like, bro, this is the first entry into phase 4. they're basically keeping it open, keeping these little tiny things open for other things. So you can go back to this show after you've seen that whole thing come together, and you're like, oh, that's where it came from.
Yep.
Roundhouse.
Well, by the way, just for everybody knows, I'm fucking tired. I got the itis. That's all it really is.
Oh, wait, and also, of course, let's give Roundhouse a round of applause for making Twitch affiliate today. Yay! Today is Tuesday.
Yes, around.
Now the real work begins, as he calls it.
Yeah, it does.
But how did you feel about the episode?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, he's like, oh, it's like someone getting an Academy Award, and you know they deserved it, but then they act like, it's like my 7th one, even though it's my 1st.
I'm not Meryl Streep. I'm just saying that this
But okay, so what did you feel about the episode and the series thus far?
Okay, so I'm just gonna go off of something I read first.
Go ahead.
Something that I read, and it's kind of what Chad said too, which is really on the same line. Like we have expectations,
mm-hmm.
and sometimes our expectations are not what they are, and it definitely sometimes it comes to comic book, TV shows, and movies. We expect something from these studios to do it, and in some cases, Marvel's the one who kind of lives up to the expectation in some way. In some ways, I'll say that. I don't think they've. Some of them were letdowns. I mean, some people don't like the first Thor and the second Thor.
Mm-hmm.
I like the first Thor. The second Thor, I'm like, but okay. But yeah, I think we harbor on expectations a lot from. I did enjoy the show. That's one. I enjoyed the how Agatha was the one who orchestrated Pietro and everything like that and all that stuff. I love that because it's just like it was like, oh shit now, because remember when he was introduced, we were like, oh shit, this is the introduction to the X-Men. This is that. This is in a different universe. This is that. And it's like. She's bending reality. It's everything. So, and it wasn't any of that.
Then we get that shit in the end, and we're like,
that's Ralph. That's the missing husband. Like, so it's crazy. They lived up to the expectations of us expecting them to do something in, I guess, in a way we were thinking.
And Marvel's like the ultimate troll anyway, so.
Yeah, but here's the thing too. Like, it's great that we have conversations about it, and
oh yeah,
and that's good too. And because it's always good just to have them. Because if you're a comic book fan, you're kind of like, oh shit, I know this and this and this and this. And then sometimes you may not be a comic book fan, you may just be the comic book movie fan.
Mm-hmm. And
may not know what certain things is until you ask somebody from that knows comic books.
That's right.
So it's always like a collective thought sometimes, and sometimes those collective thoughts are not even collective at all.
Mm-hmm.
But I did read that people were upset with the ending.
Yes,
I was okay with it. I was like, okay. I thought of it as a prelude to something else,
mm-hmm.
like this thing, because in the Marvel MCU, that this whole thing with Wanda was small, not big enough for certain people to cause attention to it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, it's not enough for Falcon and Winter Soldier to show up and be like, hey, Wanda, what's up? We're here. We're your family. It's not enough. it was just this small little thing, right? And when you come find out that she was kind of fine with it, she created her own shit. She was just, so it is a good show, despite what anybody else thinks. It was a good show, regardless of how slow it is. It's supposed to be slow. She started off with like the Bewitched and
Dick Van Dyke, yeah.
Dick Van Dyke stuff. If you don't, the thing about those shows are slow.
Well, yeah,
incredibly slow.
But
and
for sitcom fans, I guess that was like their little taste.
Bro, my grandma used to watch Dick Van Dyke shows, and I went to sleep on them. That's how slow they are. So they did good, because the fact I'm like, yeah, I feel like falling asleep on this shit. But they kept me entertained. Dick Van Dyke shit made me go to sleep. I was like, hold up. What it? No. So yeah, it was good. I don't know. Like it's so weird because, like Chad was saying, like we do expect certain things, and I don't think I think we sometimes need to get that out of our minds.
That's what I'm about to actually get into.
And just enjoy the show.
Just
watch it for what it is.
That's what I'm about to get into, the expectations of the show. There was a lot in the show that was setting up tons of things that's going to be later down the road. Mm-hmm. A lot of people need to understand too that this wasn't supposed to be the entry into phase 4. This was supposed to be in the middle to kind of give that like breather of what was going on. Mm-hmm. Technically, Black Widow was supposed to be the first one, and then Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah. When is that movie coming out?
May. It's coming out in May.
When that movie coming out?
Yeah, it's coming out in this May.
I think like May 7th or something like
that. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, they actually there's a lot of things that, of course, they didn't answer, which is okay with me because I know that those are setups for other movies, such as the feud between Captain Marvel and Monica Rambeau. Mm-hmm. There's a feud because every time Captain Marvel's name was mentioned, like,
well, I'll put it to you like this:
look on her face.
How would you feel if knock on wood and everything? How would you feel if your mom was dying of cancer and your aunt wasn't there for you?
Yeah, but I think there's more to it because if you watch Far From Home, mm-hmm. and Spider-Man mentions where Captain Marvel is, even Fury basically goes, he's like, don't mention her name. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's kind of odd. She's now I'm with you on that part of her not showing up when her mom's dying and all that stuff. I kind of, but I feel that there's more to it. Another thing is that damn aerospace engineer. I re-looked at that thing and I'm all like, man, she said her secret contact, to an aerospace engineer. So her secret contact was the Major Gooder, but Major Goodner wasn't the aerospace engineer. I think Major Goodner is the little Skrull girl from Captain Marvel. Mm. But again, like you said, speculating on a lot of things is really fun to do because you can still blow your mind with this show, even though it's ended already.
Yeah.
You
know what the show was though? The show was you as a comic book fan watching it with like somebody with a Marvel stick poking at you like.
What were you gonna say, Chad?
I mean, it's all good that we did speculate and that fans speculate, but we can't use our expectations to then bleed over into the show. We just gotta allow it to be what it is. And if the show don't make it to our expectations, to how we drew it in our heads, doesn't mean that the show was bad.
Right.
And I think sometimes fandom does that.
Yeah.
looking at the show or the movie or whatever it is for what it is. If when you look at the overarching theme of the show, did it deliver? And my answer is yes.
Agreed.
And,
Yeah.
and it ended the way that it, you know, with the way that the story was made, the way that the story was built, it ended the way that it was supposed to end. It ended that particular story.
Mind you, they shot this during COVID.
Yeah.
Exactly. So everything else, that was our stuff that we put on there. You know, talk about mutants. They never mentioned it. That was us as fandom who mentioned it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it and us putting a big deal on that aerospace engineer. People thinking that it might be Reed Richards or whoever. And I mean, but we did that. Marvel did that. Now the tension between Monica Rambeau and Captain Marvel, you saw the tension there, like you said, and okay, they're planting a seed right there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Darcy being in the show, we ain't seen her since Thor 2.
Yep.
That's building up to something. I mean, so there are things that they did put that did, you know, is going to lead to something, but then there's other things that, you know, we input, and we had our own ideas, and when they didn't do it, we get it all upset. Like I said, it was what it was. The only thing is that, like, I think I sent you guys this article that they had a deleted scene about the rabbit.
Yes, about Mr. Scratch.
A lot of felt like this was weird. Like, a rabbit ain't just gonna turn around and eat a bird. A rabbit eats carrots and lettuce and stuff like that. They don't eat birds. So what's up with that rabbit? So I think that's gonna build it. I think we're gonna find out a little bit more about the rabbit, probably.
Yeah, basically what he's talking about, Al, is that the article said that after Ralph gets taken out of the spell and everything, there's while Wanda and Agatha are doing their whole fight, and the two visions are Monica, Ralph, and the twins. They go basically try to heist the Darkhold, and they find Senior Scratchy there, and Senior Scratchy basically turns into a demon and fights them.
Like, almost like the cat in Captain Marvel.
Exactly. But they felt that it would basically go too far from what the show was actually about. Which is understandable, because the show, like you were saying, Chad, like the show itself is about the grieving of Wanda, how she's dealing with her mental instability of losing vision. And Marvel, they have a vision for this whole phase 4, and we can't, people out there can't just expect something, like you said, from anything that they're going to come up with, because Marvel probably is, they're 10 steps ahead of the ordinary audience member with their theory already. Like, you think they haven't already thought about all these theories that can come up in the whole thing? That's why they put these Easter eggs in there to fool people half of the time. But okay, so so now that you guys saw what happened with Wanda and all this other stuff, and you saw the post-credit scene with Wanda, what do you predict might happen in Doctor Strange 2?
I'll say this: in Kevin Feige, we trust. I need a $20, $100 bill with just his face on it. I honestly think we are going into the whole Mephisto nightmare thing. We may have not gotten in this show, but when those kids are sitting out there, when she's going through the book and she hears the kids saying "help, help, help," I'm like, oh shit, they really are doing this shit. Because the whole next phase is supposed to be all about magic and it's supposed to be about magic and I don't know, it's something else.
Well, it's supposed to be split.
Yeah, it's because you got
Whole thing is about the
WandaVision,
scrolls and about
WandaVision, Doctor Strange. It's WandaVision, Doctor Strange, Shang-Chi or Shangri-La, I believe.
no Shang-Chi,
Shang-Chi. There's one more,
Eternals.
but that's not magic. Well,
No.
in a way, it is.
But the thing is, basically, this phase is all about just like I guess in its overarching, it's probably mainly about multiversal things.
Yeah, that's the main premise behind.
That's the
phase.
overarching premise. Yeah,
Multiverse out the ass.
Yeah, so I do.
Spider-Man spoke about that in the second one or the third one.
yeah.
They had a whole movie in it, Into the Spider-Verse. So they.
No, but like,
well, that's
talking
not
about
that's
canon.
technically that's not canon. So if you deal with the last movie, what was it, Far From Home?
Yeah.
They actually kind of speak about the multiverse a little bit.
You know, even though what's his name, Mysterio wasn't from another multiverse, but they hinted at it almost like, and Peter was talking about it almost like he had a previous conversation with someone else about it. Yeah. Like he's all like, "Oh snap! You mean to tell me like this, that, and the other thing?" And it's like, "Huh."
Well, I mean, he was there when Doctor Strange was looking at multiple different time, and they were all dying.
Now, I actually went back and I saw this weekend. I was actually looking at Doctor Strange, the first one.
Yeah.
That is when was the very first time that they mentioned multiple dimensions and so on and so forth. When the Ancient One was having that conversation,
he went through it when she put him through all of that.
Exactly, and Dormammu, whatever his name is,
Dormammu, yeah.
Dormammu.
Had the dark dimension. That was a different dimension. Mm-hmm. So now, and I'm just because going back to Doctor Strange, it actually put a lot of things together in the sense that when they lost the certain Torums, the sanctuaries, now all those threats from the multi-universe is now open to them, and not only that, they lost an Infinity Stone.
Mm-hmm. They only lost one Sanctum. The one in China still exists. The one in New York still exists. So only
they lost the Eye of Agamotto.
Yeah, right. But the Sanctums, the Eye doesn't protect the Sanctums. The Sanctums are protected or are protecting the Earth. They only lost one, but so they got two.
That's true, but they know they lost the Ancient One.
They did.
So
the thing is that the Earth may be a little bit more weaker because of the Sanctum, that one Sanctum being gone, because now it may be weaker, or I'm sorry, not weaker, but the protection around the Earth itself. Because if you ever look at this, where the Sanctums are placed, right? They kind of make the symbol. The Earth is the symbol of Doctor Strange's place. They make the symbol around. It makes the symbol around the Earth.
Yeah.
It's protected. So now one is dead. One is completely gone. So Earth may be
vulnerable.
Vulnerable. Vulnerable to magical entities and beings, I would say.
Demons and
yeah. Listen. Yeah. Just like a wall, you only need a small fracture to get through the whole wall, and that Sanctum being destroyed is that small fracture.
Now, here's my thing. Do you think that little throwaway line that Agatha said, saying that the Scarlet Witch is more powerful than the Sorcerer Supreme? Do you think that it's something that she just said or something that's actually a fact?
I don't think it's a fact. I think she's supposed to be, but she's not there yet.
Because Doctor Strange, by the time
she'll be there. She'll definitely be there by the time this movie hits around, because she's already studying the book.
But who's to say that Doctor Strange won't be stronger than that?
Yeah, but here's the thing. He doesn't. He knows about the dark arts. He doesn't study. He doesn't study something like that though.
It's gonna catch
I
him
can't
off
say he
guard.
doesn't study it.
It's gonna catch him completely off guard.
Yeah,
I don't think it will. I don't.
it'll catch him off guard, but it won't defeat him because remember, he's more knowledgeable. She might be stronger, but he's smarter with the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know if the thing is that I'm not downgrading Wanda, but the thing is that I don't know if she's stronger than because Doctor Strange is supposed to be the best of them. That's what the Ancient One said.
He's the Nexus being, though.
Yeah, but what makes me very kind of like I don't. It's not like I don't believe it, but I think they on the same level is because that Doctor Strange is, if depending on what he's been doing now, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm pretty sure because of what has happened, and he saw the future, it was that 1 in whatever chance, I'm pretty sure he went back and really do his due diligence and went back and started reading more books and reading everything because he don't have the stone. He doesn't have the stone no more. So he has to figure out other ways of going about things. And I don't think, and knowledge is power. So I'm not sure if I personally don't think Wanda's there yet. She may have got a power up, but I don't know. We don't know how far along Doctor Strange is.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't seen it.
Right.
So for her to say, "Oh, you're stronger than Sorcerer Supreme," but we don't know where he's at.
Oh no, I'm with you. I'm with you on the whole fact of her not being as strong as him because I mean, by the time what was it? By the time Infinity War started, he was considered the most powerful magical being in the universe at the time.
The way that I interpreted it was that Wanda has the potential, be stronger than the Sorcerer Supreme because, I'm a military man, so the thought I have in my head is that the most advanced aircraft is the F-22. Mm-hmm. If I would take an Iraqi and put them in the F-22, and I took one of our American pilots and I put them in, let's say, a MiG-29, our pilot in the MiG-29 will beat that Iraqi pilot and the F-22 because of skill, because of experience, and because of knowledge.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And that's kind of the way that I see it. So, and Wanda having the power but not having the knowledge, mm-hmm. for me makes her very dangerous.
Right.
Which makes everybody else think she's dangerous.
That's like giving a baby a nuke.
That's why I think we're
Well, here's the thing though too. We don't know how much time is going to surpass, and as you can clearly see, this has only been a week, almost a week off from everything that's happened, right? Like 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
Look at that, and look how strong she's gotten since all of that.
But again, we still don't know where Doctor Strange is at.
In 3 weeks.
We don't.
And he don't have the time stone no more, so he can't isolate himself.
He doesn't need a time stone.
But he did use the time stone to isolate himself.
You're averaging on the fact that the time stone. He don't need a time stone to be the Sorcerer Supreme.
He don't, but he used the time stone so he can hone his craft.
He only needs the time stone but he don't need it.
Because he astral projects every time he goes to sleep, exactly. So he can study.
Yeah.
That wasn't the time stone. That's his natural magical ability.
But here's the thing. I think, harping on what Chad said, I think that even though he don't have the time stone no more, and Doctor Strange's power is known for borrowing from different magical elements and stuff like that, yeah. I think since he's had the time stone for so long, I think he studied it and learned how to kind of copy its power for a limited time, but not to the fullest, you know what I mean? Not to what he did in Doctor Strange 1. Maybe he can do what he did with the apple, you know how he focused on one thing?
Yeah.
He possibly because Doctor Strange is always good for that. He's always good for his power is basically borrowing from anything else. Like, you know, the when he did the red bands, the red crimson bands on Thor Thanos. And when I've watched that scene repeatedly, and Thanos was kind of like shocked when he saw that happen, because it's a powerful like thing to happen to anybody.
Oh yeah, the bands. Oh yeah, that was crazy. But he multiplied.
I think and the multiple and the whole mirror image thing and everything. But I have a feeling that he studied after he got blipped back and the battle was over and everything, and he went back to the Sanctum Sanctorum. I think he basically just went into a study frenzy to learn more, because after learning that someone like Thanos can get something like that and have something like that happen, he's going to try to make sure that he knows as much as he can so nothing can happen like that again.
That's what I'm saying.
Or nothing even close to it. And here's another thing. I think he knows what the myth of the Scarlet Witch is. Mm-hmm. He just probably didn't, but because think about it. I mean, if he is not like he really met Scarlet Witch in person, face to face for a talk. They were in battle majority of the time in Endgame, and he never had a face to face in any other movie with her,
except for the funeral.
But really, didn't have a face to face. He didn't really talk to her. All I'm saying is, for someone that powerful like Scarlet Witch, I'm sure he knows who she is.
But again,
I'm sure he knows that Wanda is a Nexus being.
Yeah.
But he doesn't know the capacity of what her powers can do.
Again, the thing about WandaVision, that it's small. What I mean by small, it's not on a global scale to the point where it's disrupting things. It was just this small ass town. It wasn't like all of New Jersey or all of New York, to the point where you need something at least on the level of that type of power to come help. It was just this small thing. And that's the thing too. We got to look at it like this little small thing versus the entire, United States or the globe, the whole earth. It only happened in a small town. Nothing to alarm anybody that much. You know what I mean?
It alarmed Agatha.
Yeah, but she's power.
True, but you got to realize. Here's the thing. This is how I think of it.
She can understand that dark energy. She felt that dark energy. It was enough for her to understand what was going on, versus Doctor Strange, who would figure that out. You know what I'm saying? Because it, again, like you said, it probably wasn't big enough for him to even realize, but it was just enough for her to recognize, I know that power. It's dark, and
Agatha's the type.
She recognized the Scarlet Witch thing for hundreds of years.
Yeah, but Agatha's the type of person that feels like any type of magical being or anything like that, she needs to go drain it. She's literally a vampire, if you want to be technical. She's a witch, but like any type of magical sensory that happening, she's gonna go over there and like, oh, I need it. Yeah, I'm gonna drain this motherfucker.
What about Mordo?
Mordo, well, he's gonna do the same. You already said it. He hates Source. So
Mordo, he's the type of person who will take it away. Period.
If you
he'll take it's like taking away bending in Avatar. This guy will take your powers away. Just done. Repeated. Just, you got nothing. Right. He don't have to kill you to do it either.
But it wouldn't have surprised me if he had already started to move. If Mordo had already started to move in that direction.
Oh yeah.
And then sudden this thing, stopped basically, right. Because the power lured Agatha. And like what you said, Al, it really wasn't on a big scale. Like a small little situation local. Wanda wasn't trying to take over the world. Mm-hmm. She was stay in her own little world in this own little place. Yep. Okay, yeah. This authority can handle that. It's small.
Yeah.
And But had she tried to take over the world, or try to take over the country, or even try to take over the state, probably they would have called Doctor Strange, or Doctor Strange would have sent something.
Well, yeah, I would say the state would be one of the things that would get
Like, so yeah, Sword was basically antagonizing her,
yeah.
making the hex grow.
Mm-hmm.
So, and if it probably would have grown even more, then it would have been a problem.
Yeah.
Because she was literally changing the fabric of reality.
Right, because think about what happened in the beginning. Because Wu and Darcy, the FBI was sitting there and they were monitoring the situation. They were trying to gather information, and they had it basically. Now I wouldn't say under control, but what they did was they cordoned off the area, and all they did was sat down and monitor. If she had tried and try to communicate, try to reach contact. She only started really getting aggressive when Sword decided to jump in. The aggressive move had always been from Sword.
Right. No, absolutely. Absolutely. And now with Sword, what do you guys think is in store with them?
Which one? Space or Earth?
No, there's only one now since Hayward's gone.
See, like I said, me as a military man, I'm always in looking at jurisdiction, and we talked about this before.
Mm-hmm.
So thinking off that Sword would intervene, because to my knowledge, they dealt with extraterrestrial threats. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I didn't understand why they were there. Had it been Shield would have made sense to me.
But Shield is destroyed now. Shield doesn't exist anymore. Sword is basically the new Shield.
No. Sword's still. I mean, Shield is still around because it came back in Avengers 2.
When?
Avengers 2, dude. They're still around.
Yeah, and then what happened after Avengers 2? Captain America Winter Soldier, bro.
No, Captain America Winter Soldier happened. Wait.
Civil War. How about that?
That's true. Civil War.
That's what really split it up. At that point, that was the end of Shield.
You didn't hear Shield at all anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't split. They just didn't intervene.
Shield it doesn't after what happened with Winter Soldier. That shit that would never come back to light anymore.
No, Shield still exists, because if I remember correctly, when you watch, I got to go back and watch Spider-Man Far From Home, because when you saw Nick Fury, he still called himself director of Shield.
Shield, yep.
Yeah, they were kind of like an underground Shield, yeah.
But still.
Oh wait, and I know what you're talking about, Al. You're talking about when Nick Fury came with that helicarrier. I know what you're talking about. But that was a decommissioned helicarrier that he brought back online.
Bro, that's Shield. Like they had all their members of Shield there. Like that's Shield.
They had members who basically were the only ones who were still loyal to Shield instead of Hydra.
But they did take Maria Hill and everybody else. It's Shield, bro. You can't even get around.
I don't think Shield exists anymore. I think they're molded with Sword now.
But even still, even still, mm-hmm. There has to be clear lines of jurisdiction.
Yeah.
Because like I asked in the very beginning, under what authority? I know we're getting into the nitty gritty, and
no,
people
it makes sense. Go ahead.
But like for me, I want to know, under what authority does Shield derive their authority from? Because if they're supposed to be a space entity, I can see them working for the UN. So if they're working for the UN, as an example, they should have never been there.
Yep.
Dealing with Wanda.
It's true.
If they're an American agency, and they're dealing with space, are they working like NASA, like a mold between NASA and the FBI?
That's what I think it is.
These are all the questions that goes on for me, that goes on in my head, because I know when we're doing our stuff in the Army, we're very clear. Okay, mm-hmm. This is for authority. This is what you can do. This is your left and your right limits. Can't go further than this.
Okay,
this, you know.
Yeah. So here's the thing. Okay, so Sword existed alongside Shield throughout the 80s, the 90s, and the 90s and on. Reason why I know that is because the pager that that Fury had to call Captain Marvel, if they showed concept photos, well, not concept photos, but actual photos of the thing back to front, and there are two symbols on it. There's a shield symbol and there's a sword symbol. So basically, Maria Rambeau and Fury and Talos created Sword in the 90s. Now, originally they were just a division within Shield that worked with NASA. They were basically working with just space exploration, and that's it. So basically, that because they explained who Shield answered to. Supposedly Shield answered to, of course, the director, but the director went to Secretary Ross. Was it?
Well, the director wound up being a Nazi. So
no, but who the director supposedly had to answer to
is Ross became in charge of a lot of jurisdiction, and that's what I'll answer. I'll answer that question. Mm-hmm. Ross became in charge of a lot, and the reason why Ross is a creep, and the reason why he has this innate ability to hate superheroes, even hates Captain America to a certain extent. Ross is one of those bad guys that you have to watch out for.
Even though Ross was responsible, according to MCU, not the actual comic books, Ross is responsible for the reason why Bruce Banner is the Incredible Hulk, because the story behind that whole thing, I read this actually, you can look it up. You can Google it. Where they basically he wanted to test the basically Project Rebirth on human subjects, and he didn't tell Betty and Bruce what he wanted to what he was doing with the whole thing. So when Bruce went to go test it out and everything, and shit went wrong, boom, gamma rays mixed with the blood of Captain America gave him the Incredible Hulk. That's basically what the MCU's explanation is for the Hulk.
I know that's the ultimate explanation.
Yeah, and that's kind of like that's kind of like what they're supposedly using, but
I mean, he explained it in forgot which movie he explained it in, but he explained it in a movie. He did talk about it. They did take the ultimate explanation about how the Hulk became the Hulk, and how,
mm-hmm.
So they did take the ultimate explanation about not only the birth of Hulk, but what Ross was doing of using Captain America, because they still have the serum. Apparently, they still have it.
Yeah,
they took the Captain America serum, and they had Banner experiment with it to recreate it, and the experiment wound up going crazy. Banner put his body to protect Betty and everybody else, hence the Hulk. Superhuman steroids. I'm sorry.
All right. So now, where do you think White Vision went?
I don't know.
This is my last question.
I honestly, we don't know. You can't pinpoint where he went, because
but speculate. Like
I can't. You know why I can't? I can't speculate, because the fact about it is, it's like, if Vision, the essence of Vision, gave him back all his memory from the time he was born to the time he died to the time he came back, and the fact and everything that happened in WandaVision, that'll mess him up. That would want me to be alone for a while too, just to clear my head, because that would mess me up too. It's I don't know. I don't know where he would go.
No, also, would you think that he might, because he's still trying to process everything.
Right. It's
Do
like, where
you
would he
think
go? I
might
mean,
try to find. Hold on. Do you think he might try to kind of find where he belongs, where he came from? Like he'll try to find because think about it. He doesn't know really, even though he has the memories, he still is trying to find out who he is. Just because he says I am Vision doesn't mean that, oh, boom, I know everything now. Everything go back to normal. Nah.
Not normal, but he knows who he is now. He know what he was inside the hex, and he knows what process that he had in his mind at the time is not real.
But he needs to know who he is now. And that's what he's trying to figure out from what you were saying. He needs to process.
Yeah. So I don't know where he would go because the only person...
You think he go to Wakanda?
No. The only person that would know him would be Wanda, but he just didn't even bother with that. It was like White Vision barely even didn't even see her. He just left. He just flew. I mean, if he was to go to Wakanda, I don't know what for.
Because remember when Shuri tried to work on him? Tried to figure out how to...
But they tried to disconnect.
Hold on, I tried to figure out have him working without the Mind Stone. Maybe she could fix something to kind of help him cope, I guess.
But he don't have the Mind Stone now, so I don't know.
No, he went off to go think, and I'm trying to put myself in Vision's shoes, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I'm suffering from amnesia,
right,
and someone touches me, and all of a sudden, all of my memories come rushing back, I'm gonna need time, one, to process it, and two, I'm gonna have to deal with my feelings about it, because memories are not, may be associated with an emotion, but not necessarily.
Right. There's triggers.
Not only did he die, he came back and then died again.
So he got to process. There's a lot for him to process.
Yeah.
So I could see him, Vision flying off, and he probably went to where the Avengers base was, and now he probably sees it destroyed as he's trying to rebuild his memories, build the story, if you will.
Okay.
It wouldn't surprise me if eventually he goes looking for Wanda, not to be with her, but to ask questions.
Right.
And so now he's on a fact-finding mission, if you will, to find himself. And now he has the memories of who he used to be. So now he needs to figure out who he is currently and who he's going to be in the future.
So it's kind of like Wanda and Vision are almost going through the same process.
Exactly.
Yep. They're both trying to figure their true self out.
Yep.
So Vision will be back. I know he will be.
Of course.
But he's going to be different.
Oh yeah.
I don't know how different, but he's going to be different. He's going to probably still have compassion. He's probably still going to be very logical and a cool guy, but I don't think he's going to be in love with Wanda. I think he's probably like I said, he's going to find his own path.
Yeah.
So, Vision she knew is gone. That is gone.
I mean, technically, if we can be very meta with it, the person that they both knew out of each other is basically gone now.
Yeah.
Because by the time Doctor Strange gets there, she'll be a completely different person.
Oh yeah.
And so will he.
Exactly.
Well, we won't know where he'll end up anyway.
No, but I'm just saying, just in general, even if wherever he ends up, he'll still be a different person than he was.
Oh yeah.
Even with the memories, he's learning the memories, processing the memories, and seeing, like Chad said, and seeing where he ends up, where he would want, where he is now and where he would want to be in the future. I would ask.
It's a lot when like
Yeah.
you witness your death by your loved one, right? Because you're making the ultimate sacrifice.
Mhm.
Not only did you die, you came back, and the first thing you see is your love, your the person you love there down the ground. You see this person that you were trying to escape from choking you, physically choking you. Like he's never been choked before, but he's being choked, and now his like to feel someone's hand gripping your brain and ripping it out of you. That's pain.
Well, yeah.
So now he dies finally, just to come back, right, as completely different, but have the now he gets his all that back, all that memory back, including what transpired in the hex. Because what the vision that we know did, he put everything that he went through, plus everything in the hex. So the family, Wanda, all that shit. He's taking all that shit in, that he had a family and all this. So it's gonna be a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the fact about it is he don't know that Tony's dead.
No.
Or Natasha's dead. He don't
No.
know. And that's the thing too. It's like when you start figuring out certain people are dead that you didn't know about, it can fuck you up, especially Tony.
Because Tony is the one who created him.
Well, yeah, he created
his conscience.
Yeah. So yeah, you know.
But I mean, I would ask Chris something, but he's away right now. So we're actually going to end this post show for WandaVision. It has been a wonderful ride with WandaVision, and I can't wait for the rest of phase 4 to culminate, especially with the whole factor of Falcon and Winter Soldier introducing possibly the Weapon Plus program and maybe more scrolls, because we know that even though it's about a year and some change off, we know that Secret Invasion is happening. The Secret Invasion TV show starring Samuel Jackson as Nick Fury, and a lot of other stuff that's going to be kind of connected to this.
I can't wait to see U.S. Agent be a fucking total dick. Because he is.
Uh-huh.
But he's going to be the most racist. Sorry.
I don't think they're going to do the whole racist thing, bro. They're not going to touch that. Disney will not touch that.
They'll skip lines on it, but I'm pretty sure there's going to be some.
I'd say I know that for a fact. They're not going to do what comic books are doing. Remember, expectations out. Don't think they're going to do that.
If they do it,
if they do it, I'll be shocked.
You know why? I'll be okay because I'll be okay with it because they have to paint the U.S. agent has to be this ultimate evil Cap. In a way, you know.
I think, you know how I think they're going to do it, though? He's going to start out being sort of like a good guy, but he's going to kind of slowly deteriorate mentally.
I think it's going to be because it's the new serum. It's not Cap's old serum. It's the new serum. The one that made the Abomination.
Yeah, but that was still using Cap's blood. They're still using Cap's
the new one.
Yeah, they use Cap's blood for Abomination, bro.
No, they didn't use the blood. They used the serum, the recreation of the serum, and that made him crazy. That's why he was like, I need more of that shit. I need more. Come on. Because Cap don't need more. Cap doesn't need more of it.
Yes, I know, because the thing is, what they need died with the doctor that made the serum in the first place. So even though Cap's blood has everything the serum is supposedly in it, it's still diluted in Cap's blood for so long that a lot of the stuff is still missing that they need to recreate it. That's why shit keeps going wrong.
Not to mention the stuff that they were using in Russia.
Oh yeah, with him, yeah.
Yeah, so
we'll figure that out in Black Widow. So in May. But I'm not gonna have this thing go longer than it is. I don't know if I'll be able to stop this recording because he's gone. But make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, and comment down below. What do you think of WandaVision? What were you? Did you love it? Did you love it? Like it? Hate it? Were you indifferent about it? Throw it down below. What are your predictions on the future MCU? And give us your take on what was your favorite episode. Until then, guys, I will see you gentlemen in a week for Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Yeah, I see Chad's like, yeah.
Is it a week?
Yeah, a week, bro. Next Friday.
Just can't.
Bye,
Look
guys.
at this. I hate this motherfucker, yo. I was waiting for you to come back so I can ask you a bunch of questions, but I'm
Well,
ready.
What's up? I'll answer what you need. Come on, let's go. 30 seconds. Boom.
Boom. Okay, 30 seconds. What do you feel about White Vision? Where do you think he went?
He went to hide somewhere because definitely he basically got woken up with all the memories, and he was like, yo, I'm programmed to kill this nigga. I'm about to go. So he went into hiding somewhere just in case the protocol is still look for Vision and get his ass.
All right. Like I said, guys, like, share, subscribe, and comment down below. And also be prepared for next Friday. We will be hitting Falcon and Winter Soldier. Right?
Next Friday? You sure about that?
I'm positive. We just went through this.
Is it next Friday?
Yes, bro, because today's the 9th.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Damn, I did not know.
Yeah. But anyway, we'll see you guys next week. Peace out. Say bye, Chad.
Bye.
Like that.